So I'm on the BJJ Fanatics website, and I see 3 new videos by some guy named Thomas Radzinski. You familiar with that guy at all?
Nope, absolutely not.
No? Well, he's got some good stuff. Three brand new videos. They're getting amazing reviews, which is good to see as well. But you got to tell us about them real quick?
Yeah, I had, you guys already know, but I had opportunity to go to Boston, shoot 3 more instructionals, 1 on butterfly hook, complete guide for butterfly hook, 2 wrap, lapel, and submit them, and 3 we have taking the back. It's particularly designed for guys for over 40 because there's no climbing involved. All the back takes are on the ground. Very, very full and effective system. So dip into it. I'm really hoping that this is going to help your jiu-jitsu and really take it to the next level.
BJJfanatics.com. Just search ROZDZ. We have all had that situation where after class is when we want to ask a question. And Thomas, a lot of those questions you've already answered, right, at Ask a Black Belt.
Yeah, it's another podcast that I'm running. It's on podcast, all podcast platforms, plus on YouTube. You can find it anywhere. Just search for my name. Search for Ask a Black Belt. At this point, over 100 episodes, different questions, jiu-jitsu, life-related, but something that everybody comes across, and often these questions sink in our mind, but we don't ask for whatever reason. So if that benefits you, go there, listen. It actually might help your jiu-jitsu, might help your life as well. And if you have any questions, find me on Instagram and drop me a line. I'll be happy to answer your question and mention your name during the episode.
Welcome to Raw Radio.
And we're live.
There we go.
Here we go again.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
The start is always awkward, isn't it?
And with you, yeah.
Oh my God.
Everything's always a start, the middle, the end. It's always awkward. Anything in between.
Wow.
Wow. Just,
Good to see you too.
I'm just being mean.
You are. You are.
Yeah. I got to let it out. Because I can't do it to anybody else.
Mm.
You can handle it. I just feel like sometimes it's fun to pick on you because you're all the way over. Yeah, you're all the way over there. So you probably noticed when we're on the mats, I'm much nicer. Much nicer. It's a different dynamic.
Why?
When we're messing around in here.
Why?
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 I don't know.
Yeah, I think you do.
No,
Why?
Different. Like I said, because you're way over there. No, I'm just.
I don't have the reach to.
Yeah. Right.
Triangulate you.
You're fast, but you're getting older. Coming across the table, I might be able to make it out the door before you get over here. Just messing around. But no, I mean, like being the mean that thing. Try very little, or try very hard never to do that. And I think I find it interesting how when you develop a relationship with someone, how it changes over time, and you can be. I don't know what is it? What makes it playful that you can start being mean, joking on somebody, picking on somebody over time?
Well, it has to be trust. I mean,
right? Yeah,
it has to be the ability. Well, knowing the other person, right? Knowing that it's not hurtful, it's playful, right? And there's very fine line behind that.
Yeah, and bringing it to what we're talking about today, John said something about when working with kids, you got to put a marble in the jar, right? Mm-hmm. So you can't come down on somebody who you don't have any marbles in their jar yet because they don't have that trust in you. They don't know where it's coming from. And I thought that was pretty cool. And I think we do that in our relationships. And we do that, with training partners and with our kids, our own kids especially. And I just thought it was pretty interesting. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today.
Well, then talk.
I just did for the first 3 minutes.
3 minutes? We're not even 2 minutes in.
I started recording. We record separately, 2 different devices. I started recording before you.
Well, but my recording is the actual recording.
Not necessarily. I do the editing. So.
Oh my God. Yeah. Do you always have to be right?
No, I don't have to be right. I just have to be contradictory.
That's right.
Yeah, right or wrong, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No, as
You're
long as
just
I'm
gonna
running-
play the opposite side. Always devil's advocate.
That's right.
Always.
That's
Always.
right. That's right. But I do. Listen, we both taught kids classes, right? So a lot of involvement with a lot of different kids. And we.
Well, that's
we
not
both
only
have
kids
of our own.
But that's not only kids related.
No, but I find it's probably more important. I think maybe I don't want to say more important, but more evident, self-evident with kids is you can't. Kids are honest. And you cannot discipline a kid. You can't tell a kid what to do. You can't joke with a kid until you've bought or brought some trust into the relationship. And I think that the same does go for adults. I just think maybe it's a little more heightened or a little more evident with kids. You got a kid.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree.
Well,
I think I think kids have less comprehension, right? So
right. So that
it's more black and white, but adults are big babies. Like I feel like adults are. I think adults are more sensitive about some of these things. Like saying a right thing, people, I don't know, these days they will ghost you or leave and like.
Well, yeah.
And like I feel like even though with kids you might be making bigger impact, I think with adults it is easier to. I feel like there's more online, if you will.
I don't know. I mean, I would rather. I shouldn't say rather, because look, sometimes when you say something or you do something, you can see it, the immediacy of it, right? Immediately after, that person was offended, and maybe it is my fault. Like I could have handled that differently, or I should have said something differently, or we don't have that type of relationship yet. With a kid, I think once that line's crossed, it's over. It's really hard to get back. And
that is true.
You can just say, "Oh, you know what, dude? I'm sorry. I thought you would. Well, this is only joking, or it was, this is uncomfortable."
Yeah. This is the comprehension part that I was referring to. Yeah.
And I can remember being on the mats, in class with a kid who had made the transition from kids class to adults class. So she's 14 years old or so, and I made a joke, and I could see instantly that like, oh, okay, he's in the adult class, but he's not, he's not ready for what I just said yet. And I immediately like apologized, and I think we've all said stupid things from time to time and realized that in the other person's reaction. But this one was like a really big deal to me. I had to make it clear, hey, that's not what I meant. I was just joking around, and I could see that bothered you. I apologize. Because I think, listen, it affects a kid. Kid walks away with that, with things when you come down on them, whether rightfully so or not. So whether they did something wrong and you're trying to discipline them, or you say something that they don't understand and they, it upsets them, they carry that with them. And you got to make amends for it right away, I feel. Going back to the marbles in the jar, if you haven't built that up, that trust up, that apology doesn't mean anything. It's over. It's done. So it's difficult, I think, with kids because the maturity, the comprehension level isn't there. And I'm kind of like thinking about my own kids, like came down a little hard on my daughter this morning because she was just like, she didn't have anything to wear to school, and it was like, school's not for an hour. We put your clothes in the wash last night. Let's go. It'll be dry. You'll have stuff before, because of course she can only wear she can only wear 5 things. She's got a drawer in a closet full of stuff, but she can only wear 5, and those 5, are in heavy rotation. But instead of being like, so that's the way I should have handled it. And I was like, well, then you just don't go to, I was like pushing her to like do it herself, right? Didn't do it in the right way. And it's like, okay, I have enough marbles in the jar where I can come down on her sometimes, and it'll be okay. Still I overreacted, but at the same time, it's like she knows where I'm coming from, where my heart is, things like that. And that's that trust that you develop over time. And, you want to bring it here to the academy. You develop trust with your students. You develop trust with your training partners, where if you need to say something harsh that they need to hear, they're going to listen. They're going to be receptive. Or if they know you're not going to hurt them in any way, if you know what I'm getting at. And if it's like when you go with a brand new person that you've never trained with before, and let's say they rip something, they go hard. Are you going to go with that person ever again?
No.
Or you're definitely going to approach it in a much different
way.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But if you go with somebody, if you've gone with somebody 100 times and the 101st, they do something stupid and apologize for it right away, you're going to be like, it's no sweat, dude. Obviously if it's not catastrophic, you're going to be like, whatever, dude, it happens. It's no big deal. It doesn't change your opinion of them.
Mm-hmm.
We all screw up every once in a while. And it's because you've had all that time and all that trust built up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. That's important. That's it all what allows us to move forward. And that's how we get to know each other, right? I mean, we know that one person might be goofball, the other person might be too serious and all that. And knowing who people are and how they act, what their personalities are, allows us to maneuver someone through these difficult situations. Even having a tough conversation with person A is going to be very different than having the same conversation with person B,
Sure.
based on how they might be receiving that information, right? So this is where, working with people and knowing people really is important.
Yeah. It reminds me, what I can't remember, Something Idiots. What book was it? You made us
Surrounded by Idiots.
Yes. Where when you
it's a great book.
It is a great book. No, I'm not slamming the book. No, what I'm about to say is that it teaches you who people are, right?
Mm-hmm.
That people we all fit into these different boxes, and you can, with the time and that you spent with people and the experiences you've had, you can approach different people with the same problems in different ways, because you know how they're, like you said, how they are going to react. What color they are. Go read the book; it's pretty cool. And is there any other way to do that besides, right now we're talking, marbles in a jar, but what I'm thinking about is time and experience. Is there any other time or any other way besides time and experience to build these things up? I don't think there is.
No, I think time is important. Well, I don't know, but I think time is important. For some people, you will build that relationship in one day. And for other people, you will listen. There are some complex relationships where you know a person for 10 years and you still don't trust them. Yeah. Right? So it's not only the amount of time, but also the effort and how the relationship is being built.
Yeah.
There are some good, there are some good relationships that are very short, and there are some really bad relationships that are very long, and vice versa. Like how do we maneuver through it? Then, that's the hard part, right? How do we get to know each other, right? And this is where, again, like I like this analogy, marbles in a jar. You paying forward, essentially. You investing into that person, mm-hmm. so you're making deposits, so you can withdraw when it's necessary.
Yeah.
And, hoping you don't go into deficit, right?
Yeah, I guess once you cross that line, right, it's probably really hard to build anything back up. And we keep talking about trust, but I don't even think it's, it's not, we're not talking about doing anything negative. I think sometimes it's you're trying to do something positive. Mm-hmm. And, if they don't know where you're coming from and they don't know where your heart is, are they going to be receptive to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's an analogy that I think is multifaceted. It's cool.
Yeah. I like it. Definitely is going into my. It made to my notebook, so that's a good one.
Oh, you wrote it down?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, he's gonna go dissect it. All right, are we done for the day?
Yeah, I think.
All right then. I'll see you
later.
Thank you for listening to Raw Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.